Fox News alert now, because any minute we're going to find out the fate of former Illinois Governor Rod Blagojevich. Jurors reaching verdicts on 18 out of 20 corruption charges against him. Blago now facing more than 300 years in prison. George Terwilliger is a former Deputy Attorney General at the Justice Department. Larry Walters is a constitutional attorney, and they are both my guests today. Thanks so much for being here.
Pleasure.
So as we await now, less than 20 minutes away from finding out what the verdict is, we've seen that Blagojevich has made his way to the courthouse. I want to get both of your opinions. George, Larry, is he going to be found guilty or acquittal? George?
I don't like to guess at verdicts, but based on what happened the last time and with two counts remaining undecided, I wouldn't think those two counts would be undecided as to guilt. So it may be that these are in fact acquittals, and they can't agree on the two counts that remain. But I also could be completely wrong. Jurors
Larry?
are tough to call.
Larry, your thoughts?
You know, the legal community watching this has generally predicted some kind of conviction. It is odd that they're struggling with a couple of counts. But I would tend to say that there's going to be a number of convictions here, and ultimately there'll be appeals. Whether the convictions will be upheld is a whole other matter, but I think we're looking at convictions.
All right, so you're both the legal experts here. Does it matter which two counts they threw out? Because we don't know what they are. In your opinion, George, were most of the charges similar in nature?
They all surround the same conduct, so I don't think it will mean too much. His actual sentence, assuming, let's assume it's a split verdict and he's convicted on some but not others, and others are hung and never get retried. There will be plenty of exposure on conviction of only 2 or 3 counts for the judge to impose a meaningful sentence.
The second time around, Larry, the prosecution got a second time around because the first time the jury basically deadlocked on all of the charges except for one. He was convicted for lying to the FBI, which gave him up to 5 years in prison. They changed the way in which they did the case, so this time they shortened their evidence to half of what it was before. Do you think that that was a smart move? Sometimes when you get a chance for a do-over, do you think that it was to their advantage in this case?
Well, the government certainly learned something from the first time around, and they figured out that the jury was just overwhelmed with all of the information and all of the evidence that they presented. So it sounds like they tried to streamline their case, make it more understandable, and that may very well have led to the ultimate results here in terms of a conviction.
George, I'm interested in knowing what you think about Blago's demeanor today. I don't know if you had a chance to hear our reporter on the ground there, Mike Tobin, say that as he left his house, he's quoting an Elvis tune. He's saying, hands are a-shaking and my knees are weak. But he said that he's been praying to God this morning since finding out that there was, in fact, a verdict. Surprising to you?
Well, not really. I mean, I think he's probably being more honest, and of course his ability for showmanship is coming through. Look, I've sat in a lot of courtrooms and heard a lot of verdicts, sometimes with clients at my side, and it is a very, very sobering moment, and where it's he whose interests are on the line, I'm sure it is a very tough situation.
Larry, you touched on this a little bit before, but I'm interested in knowing, for me and for our viewers, let's say that he is convicted on these charges. Would we see him then go away in handcuffs, or what would happen?
I don't think we're going to see him whisked off to prison same day. What will likely happen is there will be a pre-sentence investigation conducted that will look into his background and look into any aggravating or mitigating factors, and then that report will be given to the judge, who will at some point in the future impose a prison sentence if he's convicted. It is certainly possible that the judge could remand him to prison right away, but it would be an unusual circumstance.
And were you surprised, George, that the government decided to just let those two other charges go away? Obviously, they know which counts those were. What does that tell you?
It tells me that they're satisfied to take this partial verdict. They will, in all likelihood, retain the right, if it should be a complete disaster, to try those two counts again. But I think it was a pretty smart move under the circumstances. This case has been tried and tried again, and it's time to bring it to closure, I think, would be the government's view.
So, Larry, do you think that there was any overreaching initially in this case by Patrick Fitzgerald? Many legal experts said that maybe he reached too far initially.
Well, this is certainly a test case of sorts. It accuses Blagojevich of conduct that violates the law, where there really isn't any precedent. This kind of dancing around the edges of trading the position for some kind of benefit has really not been prosecuted, and so we are all in the dark as to whether it is in fact a crime. In this case, and the eventual appeal, if there's a conviction, will help set the standard for future government officials to know what they can and cannot do in this regard.
Mm-hmm. So, George, you would believe that an appeal would happen instantaneously, and then take us through that process as far as a timeline. Do you assume that Blago would be out then on some sort of bail?
Yes, I don't think the government can make much of a case that he represents a risk of flight, given that he's appeared for all the court appearances to date. The appeal, depending on a number of different factors, could take up to a year, maybe more. So he'll still be out there, and there will be issues. I don't think the issues, though, will so much surround the behavior of the government in the trial as it will, as Larry just said, the facts concerning the conduct that's charged. There is a real tension in this case between the normal push and pull of politics and somebody trying to, in essence, sell their power to make appointments.
Right. Well, it certainly was entertaining to listen to, at least most of those tape recordings. I want you to stand by, if the both of you can, because we are awaiting this verdict. Right now, it's 2:40 on the East Coast. This is supposed to come down in the next couple of minutes as we look inside live now. Inside the courtroom, you can see the